Today, we are going to focus on Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy and seeing how Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy can aid in course designing. Now, designing a course requires you to look at several aspects, which involves looking at community needs and the needs of the people, and then finding a way of solving them through a package called a course, so that when people complete this course, they graduate to go and solve these challenges affecting the community at large or affecting a certain group of people in the communities. Here we are looking at Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy developed in 1956. Benjamin Bloom developed a taxonomy which is used in assessment and evaluation, but it can also be used in designing course because you cannot assess what has not been designed. Benjamin Bloom and his other friends developed this taxonomy, and this taxonomy begins with knowledge as the first level. That while designing the course, we look at dispensing knowledge so that learners get to know what is happening in the communities where they are, that is happening in the communities where they are not, so that they get aware and alert. So that is one of the aspects you can use to say, is this content that I'm teaching or that the content that I intend to design have the element where people receive knowledge about the environment, themselves, and everything surrounding their lives. And then you need also to program this course and program this material in such a way that it is understandable. That's why Benjamin Bloom comes up with another level called understanding. Others call it the level of comprehension. Learners able to differentiate the key elements in the course that we are teaching. Can they think deeply and reason what we are teaching, and is it an ingredient of the course? Content of the course must have that ingredient in there to cause understanding and to cause reasoning and insight in the learners who might be reading or who might be watching or who might be hearing or interacting in terms of taking an activity. Now, the other aspect we look at is the level which is called application. So look at the content that we intend to teach the learners, and the content is under design to see whether if the learner lifted what we have documented as knowledge and understanding, and if the learner lifted this to try to put it into practice, would the learner realize the right outcomes and the right output? If the learner does not, then there is a problem with our content. There is a problem in our course, which we need to review and look at, so that when the learner starts to apply what has been taught, actually realizes the maximum output and the true and beneficial outcomes. Now, the ingredients of the course should also enable the learner to practice, to put things into practice, not piling knowledge in the mind of the learner. The hands, the what we call psychomotor, putting into practice should take place as we design this course. We also look at the other aspect of analysis. As we put into practice certain things, we come to start to create a distinction. We start to connect ideas and see what is not fitting and why it is not fitting, the whys and the when and the changes in situation tells us to draw our minds and the mind of the learner towards the analysis. Analysis is what helps even the learner to be able to say that is not a square, but it is rather a rectangle, because this is longer than the other side. That kind of analysis that comes from critical observation is very central while we are designing a certain course, so that the course itself can enable the learner to actually analyze things, looking at small things and connecting between these small things in order to create what deviates and what does not deviate, what converges and what actually diverges from reality. Then the other level of synthesis. The level of synthesis is very central, because synthesis helps the learner to do two things: able to to differentiate, and then one can also integrate, can bring the different parts and join them to form a whole. So synthesis is an extended level of analysis. So without analysis, it becomes hard to synthesize, to be fitting, and what is not fitting to be either made to fit or to be removed, and something that fit comes into to fit in. So in schools there, what do? You can bring doors and dismantle these doors, or any form of jigsaws, and then learners will come analyze, and after analyzing they start to synthesize, connecting what is not connecting, they try another until they form something that is a whole. In the later stage, you will see that there is something, a level which we call evaluation. To evaluate is now looking back on all these stages to see whether everything is rhyming well. The evaluation will tell us to review and then to improve on what is not good, or to maintain what is good. So evaluation is actually based on the objectives of the course achieved. I thank you